The diagram shows the apparatus used to electrolyze the dilute sulfuric acid. What we call, you have to label, we call them as electrodes. We collect oxygen and hydrogen by electrolysis because whenever we do electrolysis of dilute or a concentrated sulfuric acid, it always gives H and OH ions are moving, so oxygen and water, hydrogen are there. One observation made during this electrolysis, what you will see or observe when this electrolysis happen or occur. So whenever a gas is given off, the most common observation, bubbles are there. That's the most common observation whenever a gas is given off. Next, we have to compare the volume. Next, we have to compare the volume of the two gases. You just have to it's a comparison. Like when you compare what it looks like, it shows that hydrogen is more than oxygen. And comparison is there. So comparison should always be in terms of ratio. Like it is twice, half, double, triple, quadruple. So you can see its hydrogen is more than oxygen. That is one thing. But what is a comparison? Like whenever you compare, it should be in ratio. What it looks like. If you try to compare the ratio. So yeah,
Oxygen is half of hydrogen.
oxygen is half of volume of oxygen is half of hydrogen, or volume of hydrogen is twice of oxygen. You can mention it. So how you score 2 mark? 1 mark is for mentioning hydrogen more than oxygen. 1 mark is for the ratio. Whenever a comparison is there, you should always try to write a ratio between the quantities, like whether it's half, double, triple. Which substance break down to give these gases?
The water and the acid.
So look, we are getting oxygen, and we are getting hydrogen. So oxygen, whenever OH ion will move there, and hydrogen when H plus ion move there. So H plus and OH minus, which ion? So they will due to water. Because there is a water, that's why these oxygen and hydrogen gases are produced. Like H and OH ion are due to the water itself. Then when we do it, the question is which substance break to form these gases? So when we are doing electrolysis of a sulfuric acid, we have hydrogen ion, we have hydroxide ion, we have hydrogen ion, and we have sulfate ion. So when we do electrolysis, the positive ion will move. That is both case hydrogen, and OH ion, sulfate, nitrate, and carbonate never move. So which molecule actually break down to give H plus and OH minus? That is the water molecule. So which substance break down to give this hydrogen and oxygen gases? That's why we say water. Give one test to distinguish between oxygen and hydrogen. Like if you want to write a common test for them, for example, just a minute, this one I will write. If you use a if you use a glowing splint, for example. So example, if you write a glowing splint with oxygen, we know glowing splint will relight. But with hydrogen, there will be no effect because hydrogen does not. And if you write a lighted splint, if you write a lighted splint here, what will happen? Because even it is acceptable, no effect is acceptable because lighted splint is a test for hydrogen. So no effect is acceptable here, and results with a hydrogen, it will pops. Yeah, no effect. In practical, the lighted splint, it will give more light when oxygen, because oxygen is supporting the burning or combustion, but no effect is acceptable. So any one of the tests you can mention about these two.